Ahoy! This is Harry Hansen reminding you to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube by going to youtube.com at the Get On With It podcast and clicking the subscribe button. Or just search YouTube for the Get On With It podcast and leave out the spaces. Either way, it's as easy as falling off a log. Thanks a bundle.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, October. What the hell am I looking at? March. Right. The year flew by. Holy shit.
March, October. Who cares?
Back in time. Yeah.
March the 4th, 2026. Jersey Johnny coming at you. Obviously, I need another drink. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. How are you, two gents, on this fine March evening?
Feeling good. The snow is starting to melt.
Snow is starting to melt. It's a lot of it's gone already. Rain has helped. The snow they were saying that we were going to get this past Monday. I'm glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, that was a nice bonus.
That was a nice bonus. So and it's gonna be 70 degrees next week here anyway. I don't know about Colorado.
It's 70 degrees tomorrow here. It's been the high 60s. We have had no snow, but anyway. You can go to weathermaps.com
and find all of that information out for yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
And there you have it.
All right, let's jump right into it. And as usual, we're going to start with football, but very briefly.
Very, 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 very briefly.
Very briefly. So let's talk a little bit of football here.
Little football.
Go ahead, Johnny. Hit us.
Oh, I just want to. I basically only have one question for Pete, but I did want to mention to Harry. Before that, the Giants let Bobby Okereke go today.
I heard about that. That's weird.
Yeah, they did. The cap casualty.
Yeah.
But hopefully they replace him because he had a lot of tackles last year and he was one of the better defenders on that defense.
I did look. I read that Harbaugh is going to make, like, by the time the season comes around, this team is going to look very diffent than
very different. Yeah, I heard that. So, and you know what, I'm fine with it. We'll see how it goes. But
Cam Scadaboo's available to play linebacker. So.
I'm sure he would be more than happy to as well. So.
Yeah, he's a two-way guy.
On that note,
what is your question?
My question for you, though, sir, is what quarterback will the Jets sign? Because they're clearly got to sign a quarterback. They're not running it back with Justin Fields. They're not running it back with, Tyrod Taylor by any means. They need somebody now. Are they going to bundle up a couple of draft picks? And well, they don't have to trade up, right? They got the second pick, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to take a quarterback? Are they going to reach for a quarterback? Because obviously, what's his face is going
Mendoza.
Mendoza's going to the Raiders. So
well, maybe not.
Well, if he doesn't, I'm sure they're going to take him, right? That would be the way to go, right? But
I would imagine so. I almost did an Are They For Real or an over-under. No, Are They For Real about this very question.
Are they for under?
Are they for under? Yeah, about whether it was going to be somebody mentioned Joe Flacco. What's his name? The guy from formerly of Washington.
Kirk Cousins
and all that stuff.
Joe Flacco's been there before, so he
Yeah. So is it going to be one of those stopgap guys or whatever?
Listen, I'm sure it's going to be a stopgap guy because next year,
I'm
quarterback-wise, it's deep.
I'm not sure they could do anything. They might just go with Fields for one more year. I would like to see Cousins. I'll take Flacco. Now, what I've been hearing is that the Raiders may not draft Mendoza number one. There's somebody else that they might be looking at.
Is that right?
I forget his name. But if that happens, then Vanessa. then I'm pretty sure they would take Mendoza, which, I don't know. There's some people really like him. Other people not so much in love with him. But if I had my money, it would be Cousins as the stopgap. But I'll take Joe Flacco and look for a QB next year. Build your defense.
I've heard other names. Let me throw them at you really quick. Kyler Murray.
Nope. Don't want him.
Anthony Richardson.
Why would we want to bring in another project?
I have the answer.
Tua.
God, no, Dolphin. Fuck that guy.
All right.
Here's the answer. Here's a clue. What you talking about, Willis?
They're going to bring in
Gary Coleman.
They're going to bring in Gary Coleman, who's dead. They are going to sign, who I believe is a free agent, Malik Willis from the Packers.
All right.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Gary Coleman would be the Eddie Goodell of the
That's right.
of the NFL.
And you were worried about Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Sorry, Murray's too big. Let's bring.
By the way, one of the really quick aside, because I don't know how we got to Gary Coleman. I do. One of the weirdest things, I think it was probably within the first 2 or 3 months that I lived in Denver. I walked into a store to buy basswood. It was a train store, like a model train store, and there behind the counter with a conductor's hat on was Gary Coleman. Now, I thought I was dreaming a little bit.
I remember this story.
But no, it sure as shit. It was Gary Coleman. Yeah.
Oh.
At Caboose Hobbies. No longer
Caboose
there.
Hobbies.
You think that has anything to do with the fact that they brought in Gary Coleman as their? Did they advertise? Come see Gary Coleman?
No.
He's just a train enthusiast, or he was just there for a payout.
He lived in Denver, and he was, obviously he needed a job. I don't think Gary Coleman's career was all that spectacular, but I don't think he needed it necessarily, but
Yeah, listen, little fame, chance to be, lauded or for a day and stuff. Yeah.
No, I think you need next time you play out. I think when you do Baklava, our theme song, I think you need to do, instead of with Madonna, you should do Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman. Yeah.
We have a whole song about Gary Coleman.
Eating cold lasagna with a train. Yeah. And Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
Gary Coleman.
Customized lyrics.
He's mentioned many times in the outro of What You Talking About, Willis.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. So, John, not that you're a Jets fan, but who would you like to see? Or who do you think they're going to go?
All along, I was thinking Cousins. It's a stopgap. They're going to give him, they're going to pay him next to nothing. They're going to pay him in a minimum because obviously he's going to get his money from Atlanta.
Yeah. And you tell him, look, you're going to start this year, and if you want to come back a year after that, then you back up whoever we draft. Or you play the first half of the season, then you mentor whoever we draft, and I'm sure he'd do that.
I think that'd be the way to go. But if they could get Malik Willis, I think that's a good bet. Harry's got something there. If that happens, I think that's the way to go, because then you don't need to draft anybody. He's
exactly
a decent quarterback.
Yeah,
you're going to pay him more. You're not going to get that rookie, contract. But what you're going to get is somebody who, when he has played, has proven to be a starter. I think in the NFL, a lot of people in Green Bay think that he should be,
the starter.
Yeah. So,
and all of those draft picks are going to be on rookie contracts instead of trading them away for
right. And so the Jets have not had a great amount of luck, and they're not alone in that, in developing first round draft picks, especially high draft picks at quarterback. So we'll see. We shall see.
We shall see. There you go.
All right, that's it for football. So let's move right on, because Johnny's got both barrels loaded. So let's start with the quickie.
She is hot. Who is she again?
I don't know. Just a quickie chick.
Just a quickie chick. Quickie chick. A quickie chick. There you go. All right.
Do I need to make that intro longer so you guys have a little more time to All right.
I know. That's why I do 3 and 4 just the quickies a night, so you have to play it over.
So I can see. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to it.
So tonight's just a quickie is as it was 2 weeks ago. Big Four sports history. 2 weeks ago, we did which 4 teams became the champions of their sport in the year 1987. This time it's 1979. Which 4 teams became the champions of their sport in the year 1979? Just randomly shoot it out. I don't need to go one back and forth.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yankees.
Pittsburgh Pirates is correct. Is baseball. Yeah.
Okay.
Pittsburgh
In 79?
Yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers is the other one. So Pittsburgh won 2 in 79.
Did the Islanders win in 79? No, they won in 80. In 79 in hockey, it was
Oilers?
Nope.
No, that was afterwards.
The Islanders.
I want to say it was the Bruins.
Was not.
Kings?
Flyers?
Was not.
Not the Flyers.
Nope.
Give us a hint. Was it a Canadian team or an American team?
It was an original 6 team.
Boston. It wasn't the Bruins.
Blackhawks.
It was Canadians? Was that the last time the Canadians?
It was the Canadians, yeah.
It was the Canadiens.
The Canadians, yeah. And basketball?
79.
79 was the Lakers?
No.
It's not the Celtics.
Celtics? No, not the Celtics.
79. Sixers?
Nope.
So that was 83.
The
Seattle Supersonics.
The Seattle Supersonics. Correct.
2 Pittsburghs, a Seattle,
and a Canada.
And a Canada.
Now, really quick, who did the Steelers beat?
Cowboys.
Who did the Pirates beat?
The Pirates beat the...
You can do it. I know you can.
1979.
The Red Sox? No, not the Red Sox. The Pirates, I know who.
You got the right division.
Yeah, they beat the
Blue
Orioles.
Jays?
They beat the Orioles. Very good.
Orioles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who did the Sonics beat?
The Sonics beat.
Ironically, neither of these teams exist anymore.
Yeah, they beat the
Expos.
No, was it New Orleans?
No.
Was
not because they were the Jazz at the time.
Yeah, that's right. They were the Jazz. Who did Seattle? Seattle. I'm thinking of Portland. Who did Seattle beat? Give me a hint. Where are they in the East?
They're in the East.
They
were in the East. They were in the East, and there's a new team in that city now.
Miami Heat?
No, a little more north.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
A lot more north.
The Bullets.
The Bullets.
The Washington Bullets with Wes Unseld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Very good. And who did the Canadiens beat?
Canadians beat the
Islanders.
No, they were in the same. It would have been. Did they beat the Calgary Flames?
Remember, things were different then. Divisions were different then. There was Norris.
Was it the Rangers?
It was the Rangers. They beat the Rangers.
So that was a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime the Rangers lose, that's a good year.
I gotta love it.
Well, this is a good year then.
Not bad.
All right. So that's our just a quickie. There you go. All right.
Let's move on because we have more questions to be asked and answered.
There you go.
Can I raise a practical question at this point?
Well, if you just answer the question.
Do you want it? Are you sure? Well, here it is. The question of the day.
We gotta
That's
take
her, right? That's her.
I was gonna say we gotta put that picture and that voice.
That's
together.
just a quickie girl, right?
It might be. It might be.
Right.
I thought it was Judd Nelson.
His voice got a little higher over the years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tonight's question of the day for Gotta Stay is sports decades. Sports decades. This time we're doing NFL. We're doing NFL. These are personal to you. Personal preferences means nothing. It's what the decade meant to you for the NFL. We're going to do. You gotta keep 4. Obviously, get rid of 2. So we're going to do NFL watching. Bless you. Watching NFL games in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and so far in the 2020s. Which 2 decades are you getting rid of? Which 4 are you?
What was the first one? The 80s?
70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s.
In the NFL.
I'm getting rid of the last 2 decades.
The most recent too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree. I mean, I'm definitely keeping the 70s and the 90s.
80s was good too. You're a Cowboys fan. You should love the 90s and the 80s. Well,
he's keeping the 70s and the 90s as a Cowboys fan. He should keep the 80s as a Jets fan. I mean, they did pretty damn good in the early.
Yeah, I guess I would have to keep the 80s, and I'll keep the 2000s, I guess. For
it's the same thing. You're getting rid of the 2010s and 2020s.
Yeah, I mean, because what do I have to root for in the past?
Fair enough.
27 years.
This is going to be an interesting point as we move forward with this, but it's almost a social experiment because I agree 100% with you guys. I love watching football, but I loved watching football more in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Yeah.
Than I did.
If you ask somebody who's 25, they're going to take out the 70s and 80s.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we're old guys.
There you go.
Well, but we should show them film of how it was actually football.
Mm-hmm.
And,
back in our day,
when they want to argue that, J.J. Watt was better than Jack Lambert, then we could just show them a picture of Jack Lambert.
Yeah, they don't even need to see footage. Just the Sports Illustrated photo of Jack Lambert is all they need.
Exactly.
Nothing against J.J. Watt. He's a great player, but even J.J. Watt would admit, nope.
J.J. Watt would admit the same thing.
I ain't that.
Yeah. Put those guys in a fight, and you tell me who you think is going to win. Yeah,
now.
In any era. So. All right, very good. Good. Question of the day. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from football and such things, and we'll talk a little bit of baseball, which there isn't a whole lot to talk about as far as the regular season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spring training, games are happening. Peralta's the starter opening day for the Mets. I don't know if they named anybody for the Yankees, but that's of minor interest to me.
I think it's going to be Fried, but
yeah. You're probably not wrong. And speaking of the Yankees, quick aside on that, Harry, did you or both of you see who won his the congressional primary in Texas today or yesterday?
Mark Teixeira.
So
good for him.
He could be a congressman come November. So
I think he's on the wrong side of
is
reality.
Is that for the House?
Yeah.
So not for the Senate.
Not for the Senate. No, it's not Senate.
It's going to be. Oh, is he? Teixeira's a religious guy, isn't he?
He's a right winger MAGA.
Oh, he's a right winger MAGA.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, has to be.
Well, no, because I was going to say
you don't win a Republican primary in Texas unless you are.
Well, I mean, Tallarico won against Crockett, and he's very religious, but he's also election, he seems sane. That's the thing. So, but I was going to say we have two religious guys in Texas coming into the House, which is not a surprise, but
it's not a surprise. But
let's all hope Lenny Dykstra runs in Pennsylvania.
Well, let me ask you this: are you guys excited about the World Baseball Classic?
I'm not. I can't say I'm excited, but I'm interested. I'm more than interested, less than excited, if that means anything.
Here's what I like about it. It's the only time some of these guys are actually going to get an actual spring training in. So I like that where they're playing it, and that it's going to lead right into the regular season. Obviously, you have to hope no one gets hurt. But that's that is the only thing that I hold my breath on. But yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Vanessa says she's lived in Texas a few times. Really? Once, and then you went back?
Texas is like its own country.
She was in service.
Austin is so different than San Antonio. Dallas is so different than Houston. I mean, it's
it is.
Houston alone is 4 cities sprawled out.
There is actually locations in California that are closer to locations in Texas than some other locations in Texas.
Yeah,
that's how big Texas is.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Texas is hook 'em horns.
Well,
yeah. Here's I tend to over the last couple of years have been paying more attention to spring training than I ever have previously in my life. I think it's just a sign of, boredom and age. It's like watching the History Channel. It just comes with the territory. But I think the World Baseball Classic will add some interest leading up to the beginning of the season for baseball, which doesn't get a lot of run, on the national media during the preseason. Not as much, nowhere near football or even basketball to some degree.
Right.
So I think it'll be good. Obviously, I think there were some games today. I don't know if they were actual games or whatever, but it was nice to see. I think they had like the American team scrimmage the Giants. I think.
Yeah, I think it starts either today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
right.
And it's amazing too how some, much like the Olympics, some players loosely they don't want to play. They can't get on the USA squad, so all of a sudden they're Italian or French.
Well, let me. I don't know, are they for real? But let me just give you a little bit of information so you'll have, be slightly more prepared for the question here.
Sure.
Just a couple quick questions. So there's 4 pools in the World Baseball Classic, right? Pool A.
How deep are they?
That depends. Depends on the pool.
5 teams deep. So, anyway, Pool A is games being played in San Juan is Puerto Rico, Cuba, Canada, Panama, and Colombia.
Okay.
Pool B is the USA, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Pool C is Japan, South Korea, Australia, Chinese Taipei, and Czechia. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Czechia.
Don't know how to pronounce it. And then
The
Pool
Czech
D
Republic.
is no, it's not the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Czechia.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a weird. Anyway, I don't know why they put them there, but
No, they changed their name and their pronouns.
right. But I mean, I don't know why they're in that pool.
Well, that pool
With a bunch of Asian teams. Anyway, and Pool D is the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, the Netherlands, Israel, and Nicaragua. So, given that information, whether you wrote that down or not, let's do a little Are They For Real?
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
What is real?
All right. Are They For Real? World Baseball. What is it? World Baseball Championship?
World Baseball Classic.
Classic. There we go. Edition. World Baseball Classic Edition. So, given those 4 groups, which I'm sure you remember, everybody who's in every one, to get to the quarterfinals, which is the next round, you have to be in one of the top 2 teams in your pool, respectively.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask
two
you.
2 teams from each pool. Yeah.
2 teams from each pool. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you 2 teams. I want you to tell me which one you think is more likely to go to the quarterfinals.
Okay.
You can pick one or the other, or you can say both, I guess. But either way. So first
are these from the same pool?
No, these are all from one team from each of the 4 different pools. I'm going to pair 2 and 2.
Okay.
All right, go.
The first one's a little tough to pick one because it's the United States and Japan. And of course, Japan is the defending champions who beat the U.S. in the finals last year.
They're both going to make it.
You could say both with this.
That's a both.
Yeah. All right. That's a both. The next one might be a little bit more difficult because it's the Dominican Republic. Actually, might be easier against Puerto Rico. Now, the Dominican Republic is kind of ranked like the number 3 team if you're looking.
They're both going to make it, but the Dominican Republic are better. But they're both going to advance.
Puerto Rico has a lot of talent, although they're considered sort of an outsider as far as winning the whole thing. But it could very well be those 2 teams.
Yeah, I that's a both too. But to Harry's point, I put the DR over PR, if you will, and I will. Honestly, I put the DR over PR. Yeah.
Well, I think Puerto Rico's going to win their pool, and I think that they're in a pool where they should win. I think them and Canada come out of that pool.
Now, if you're saying what's the likelihood of if you're picking if all 4 of those teams are from each of the 4 different pools.
Yeah.
And you're saying which of those 2 teams in each of those 2 questions is more likely to make it to the finals, like the championship game round, whatever. That's a different question.
That would be the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I would say the DR. I would say the DR.
Not by much, though. Not by much.
Yeah.
Well, but listen, anything can happen, and they have to get to the quarters to get to the championship.
They'll definitely make it to the quarters.
I don't know exactly how long this goes on, but we may in our next show have a chance to talk about the finals or whatever.
Sure.
But, so both, and both. I'm going to leave Puerto Rico out.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I don't know.
You think somebody else from that pool, like Colombia or Cuba?
I'm basically picking them to come in third or worse in that pool. So,
well, that would be an upset, because I think they're actually in the easiest pool. But anyway,
could be, yeah. All right, so that's it for baseball. But I do have some Are They For Real for basketball.
Go for it.
So we're going to start. Actually, it's NCAA because
it's been crazy this year.
It has been. Well, look, UConn is undefeated, and Duke is.
No, they're not undefeated.
They're 31-0 in the regular season.
The women.
Oh, the women. Sorry, we're starting with the women. Sorry, I didn't clarify that. So conference tourneys are getting underway. So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you the top 4 ranked teams in the country for the women and for the men, and I want you to tell me if you think they're going to win their conference tourney, yes or no. So we will start with UConn in the Big East.
Yes.
Are they going to win the conference tourney? Yes or no? John?
Yes. The conference tourney? Yes. Absolutely.
Conference tourney, yes. So both you guys say yes. I'm going to say yes too. UCLA, 28-1 on the season. Big Ten Conference tournament. Are they going to win?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll say yes as well. South Carolina. Now, here's where it gets interesting. South Carolina is the 3rd-ranked team in the country, 29-2, number 1 seed in the SEC.
Yeah, but they got Texas and Vanderbilt.
But they've got Texas, who is the number 4 team in the country and the number 3 seed in the SEC. So is South Carolina going to win the tournament? I'm saying no.
Yeah, they will.
I'm going with Pete. I'm saying no, actually.
Yeah. Well, right. you can't say yes to all 4 because the number 4 team is in the same,
well, no, because.
So you either have to pick Texas or South Carolina.
No, they're not the only teams in the tournament. Neither one of them.
Well, but if you're the question was, are of these 4 teams, which ones are going to win their tournament? You can't say yes to both South Carolina and Texas.
Oh, right, correct.
You can say no.
You can say no to both of them, but you can't
I thought he was just asking about South Carolina. I said no to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Right. Is South Carolina going to win?
So you could say yes to Texas, or you could say no to Texas, because three of the top 5 teams are in the SEC. In fact, 3 of the top 6. 4 of the top 6.
I'm going with Texas for the women. I think it's. I think they're.
Harry, you obviously have to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no to Texas. I think South Carolina prevails in the tourney.
I'm going to say no to Texas. So, I think
no to Texas.
It's going to be somebody else.
All right.
No to Texas. Sorry, Vanessa. All right, let's go to the men. Top 4 teams are Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and UConn. Anyone think Duke's going to lose the ACC tournament? I hate them, but I'm going to say yes.
This year. I don't think Duke's unbeatable, but I think they'll win the tourney.
All right, John.
I don't know. I'm going to say that no. I'm going to say no.
All right. They're 28-2. Arizona's 28-2. Big 12. Are they going to win their conference tournament? Now, all of these teams are going to go to the March Madness. You know what I mean?
They're all going to tournament.
Nobody's getting left out, but figured we'd cover the conference tourney first. So, Harry, Arizona?
For Arizona? Who are we talking about? Arizona?
Arizona, yeah, in the Big 12.
Arizona's been up and down. They've had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
But, I think they'll win.
I think they will, too.
I do, too. I agree.
All right. Next up is Michigan, 27-2 on the year. Big 10 conference tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not as.
That loss to Wisconsin was, and then of course Duke beat them, but it was close. That was a great.
I'm going to say no. By the way,
I'm going to say yes to Michigan.
All right.
I'll say yes to Michigan, but not as emphatic as I was about.
All right. So a weak yes.
A weak yes.
And finally, Big East, UConn for the men, 27-3.
No.
No.
St. John's is winning.
Harry?
Yeah, I would have really been on the St. John's deal. I think they got so buried by UConn a couple weeks ago or last week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think he's going to turn St. John's. I think St. John's wins the Big East. I think they're going to bounce back from that and beat UConn.
I think Pitino's going to have him.
That's wishful thinking, because if you think it's hard being a Jets fan, it's really hard being a St. John's fan, because the last time St. John's was even, relevant, Obsession for Men was popular. So,
Yeah, one of my roommates in college was from Queens, and he, of course, was a St. John's fan. And, you had me being an upstate guy. I was a Syracuse fan, and we had a guy in the next room
rivalry.
who was...
Big East was really good then.
We're talking mid-'80s.
Villanova, Georgetown, St. John's, Syracuse.
I had a couple of Carnesecca sweaters.
So we had some Syracuse fans. And
you're just lucky you were faster than him back then, because when you stole him, he couldn't catch you.
All right, so for the ladies, we all agree on UConn and UCLA. South Carolina and Texas were different. And for the men, we all agree on Arizona and UConn. Arizona, yes. UConn, no. So there we go. And that is...
Are they for real?
Are they for real?
All right.
So there we go. Now, do we have anything else that we want to talk about as far as baseball goes?
Baseball, I'm done.
All right, so let's move on to the NBA.
Little NBA.
And do you want to do over-under right away?
Oh, we can do it. Yeah, why not?
All right, let's do that.
Well, I've got no chance of losing this time.
All right, over-under NBA style. This is a quick one, just one. You guys know who Con Kneppel is?
Mm-hmm.
All right, he's a rookie for the Hornets. He set the record about a week ago or so.
Be rookie of the year.
He keeps going the way he's going. He probably will be. February 26th.
It's also the name of it's also the name of a porn film. Back
yeah, it's got a great porn name. Against the Pacers on the 26th, he hit his 207th three, one of 8 in the games. That was a new record. And they topped Keegan Murray's record of 206 from the 2022-23 season. However, Kneppel did it in 59 games. Murray did it in 80 games. So as of heading into tonight's action against the Celtics, he has 212 threes, does Kneppel, in 61 games. That is a 3.47 per game average. He has missed one game so far because of load management out of the first 61. If he plays all the rest of the games, projecting out, he would have 285 threes, which would put him amongst the top ever for threes in a single season.
You know what's interesting is that he is tied with a teammate for 3.5 three-pointers made per game with LaMelo Ball. So Charlotte's chucking him up. That's for sure.
Listen, I like LaMelo Ball. You can talk about his dad and all that whole thing, but
no, I think LaMelo's turned into
when you get Ball and Nipple, Kneppel,
balls,
balls and
Kneppel.
Yeah.
So
into it.
There's a lot going on in Charlotte.
So we're going to do a little over-under here, and I'm going to set the over-under for total three-pointers this season for Con Ball Kneppel at 280 and a half.
Where is he right now?
He's at 212.
212.
Only missed one game. Now,
and
if the Hornets...
How many games left?
20 games left. 20 games.
20
games left. Now, there is a possibility that if the Hornets secure a place in the play-in, he may not play every game. If they can, guarantee themselves a spot in the play-in tournament. So he may have missed some games because of that. I would imagine, on one hand, he's already got the record, but if you can top the record for rookies, this is for rookies, by 60, I would think he would want to play every game. So.
No, he's going to want to play every game, but I think there's going to be some load management things, and I think at a point he's probably going to be backing off a little bit. You know what? I can chill a little bit. Let me save some of these for the playoffs, kind of thing.
Probably the under would be the smart.
I'm going under.
I'm going under. Yeah.
I'm going under. Yeah,
but it'll be close.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean way under. I mean, he might have 280.
Yeah.
Right. But
let me also say it's an under, and I don't really care. 3-point shots made, attempts is it's everything I hate about.
Well, the reason I brought it up.
And I got a question on that too.
The reason I brought it up is because there's a possibility that it's going to be a lot. Like, this is not breaking the record.
Yeah, it's destroying.
You know what I mean? Even if he plays another 10 games and hits 2 per game, it's completely obliterating the record. So I'm going to, just to be contrarian, I'm going to take the over, just for the heck of it. And I believe that is all for over-under. There we go.
Oh, very good.
Over, under, out.
Over, under, and out.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you.
Head back to the gym here. Go ahead.
I got a question for you guys on. We're talking about 3-pointers, right?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of talk lately. We've even talked about it a little bit. 3-pointers really make basketball boring. As exciting as it is, oh look, he shot almost a half-court shot. I want to see them. I want to see them drive to the basket. I want to see that play. I want to see boards. I want to see, I want to see that. That's basketball to me, because we never had that. Am I being an old man and saying this?
Yes.
I know I am. I'm just saying. Am I being an old man saying this, or am I right in thinking that they need to do something, move the arc, do something to let's play some basketball instead of just dribbling 15 feet and throwing the ball up. And then you get the ball and you dribble 15 feet and you throw the ball up. What the hell's that? I mean, some of these games are turning into all-star games,
Yeah, you already know how I feel. I think it's horrible. And look, I think there's games that I've watched this year which have been very entertaining and maybe have a little bit more of a diversity in offensive sets and post play and things like that. But you get one of two things nowadays. You either get a sort of isolation 3-pointer. Sometimes you get some penetration and dish outs for the 3, right, or you get drives to the baskets with matador defense. Other than Nikola Jokic and maybe Joel Embiid, it's very few guys. Even Wemby doesn't really have this kind of game that have a post-up game or have a low post or a high post game that's of any interest. I mean, Wemby's, more of a guy who has moves and allows him to sort of take some mid-range shots. The other guys that you watch, it's all, like Giannis, for example, it's all just power moves to the basket, which is great. I'll take that over, a 3-pointer most of the time, but it's not like he's got Buck Williams or Bob Lanier guarding him. He's got, Con Canoopel, who's already down the court waiting to shoot a 3-pointer. So,
and there's also a difference between, when you talk about the ISO game or the power move to the basket, there's 2 things that to me are very boring about basketball. One, if everything is a 3. 2, ISO back to the basket over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I know there's
no ball movement.
Yeah, there's no ball movement. Giannis at least doesn't have to run under the basket and turn his back and call for the ball. He can make those power moves from the outside. So, but that was there are certain players in history who, were very successful in many ways, but they were just boring to watch. They talk about the black hole, the ball goes in and it never comes out. So,
I mean, I was watching highlights of Kevin McHale today, and I was just like, within 3 seconds, the guy has 3 up and under moves and, 4 different shots that he can make, playing against Kareem and Bird. I mean, not Bird, obviously, but, playing against guys who were actually playing defense and trying to stop him.
Yeah. And they were good passers too. Some of these, a lot of these guys were good passers.
And there's some good passing today too. I think the passing has improved somewhat, but some of it is just,
But if you're right, if the ball doesn't move, it's boring, and a lot of that I think has to do with officiating. Because if you watch a college game, the ball moves because they can't just power their way in and always get fouled. Right. They have to, you know what I mean? They don't just try and dribble.
Well, I think
in
the
their head down
NBA, the guys who do play more of a low post or power game, they get penalized. Not penalized. I mean, it doesn't work in their favor because they don't call a lot of the contact.
Yeah, right. They don't.
Some guys get it, some guys don't.
But
they don't call a lot of contact until you don't want them to call the contact, and then they call it.
Unless it's let's be honest. I think certain guys, if you're a guard and you throw your arms up, you're going to the free throw line. SGA certainly is a bit of a
he's
and Brunson's another one. Brunson gets.
I don't mind it when that happens.
Yeah, but he gets a lot of calls.
By the way, just very quickly before we move on, I did forget a little bit of over-under. I'm not going to play the music again or anything, but we talked in the last show about the Olympics and the medal counts, and we did a little over-under there. So we have the gold medal counts and the total medal counts and what our selections were. Very quickly, Norway, the over-under for the gold was 17.5. They ended up with 18. We all took the over on that. Total medals was over under 39.5. They ended up with 41. I took the under. You guys took the over. Italy gold, the over under was 12.5. They ended up with 10, so we all took the under there. And their total was 29.5. They ended up with 30. I took the over. You guys took the under. And then USA gold was 10.5. They ended with 12, and total was 28.5. They obliterated that with 33. We all took the over on both of those. So we all got one wrong. We all got one wrong. So
we all got one wrong and everything else correct, right?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I think I made the U.S. numbers a little bit too low, but
well, based on what they were doing up to that point, I don't think you made them too low.
Yeah, I think they had 8.
They came on in the last 3-4 days.
Yeah, they kind of turned it on. So anyway, so I just wanted to review that. So good job by all of us.
Hockey had a little bit to do with that, but still.
Yeah,
but it only counts as one. Or 2.
Yeah, but that was kind of a given. So
no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Not with the men's. I don't even think with the women's. They both went to overtime.
They both went to overtime with Canada.
Yeah. Well, anything. Anyway, anything we want to say about basketball?
No.
Oh, good.
Anything else? Yeah, we're good. All right. So let's do what we never do on this show, and let's talk a little hockey. No, not yet, Harry.
What did he say?
He said wrap up.
Something we never do.
Wishful thinking, sir. Wishful thinking. So here's the listen. We're not going to talk about the NHL and the standings or all that. Avalanche are doing well, right? Are they still on the winning streak?
Yeah, they are, but they're they came back down to earth.
They're winning enough.
They're within striking distance for a lot of teams right now. So
all right,
they're not 18 points ahead of everybody.
Still the best team in the league, though.
Well, and you look, as an Islanders fan too. I mean,
no one here is an Islanders fan.
They have some hope,
No, he's an Islanders fan.
Oh, all right. Why?
We're the three of us are the 3 New York area teams fans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wait, Harry? You're an Islanders fan?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that. All right. Well, what I really wanted to ask you guys about was Olympic hockey and the NHL shutting down for 2 weeks for 7 games and a bunch of guys getting hurt. Like Favia from the Kings, who broke his leg and is out for the season. Not that the Kings were a great team, but they're probably not going to make the playoffs now. Mm-hmm. Crosby out for at least 4 weeks, which is probably 3 weeks now with a lower body injury. Mikko Rantanen from Dallas missing at least 2 weeks with a lower body injury. Josh Morrissey from Winnipeg, just on the injured list. Jack Hughes lost a tooth, but obviously that didn't stop him. Brad Marchand.
From being on every talk show in New York.
I'll get to him in a minute. Marchand missed a couple of games, but he's back. But again, my point, do we really need to shut down the NHL for 2 weeks while everybody goes and plays?
I
Yeah,
don't
we
really.
During a period of time, and I'll mention this, quite frankly, when the NHL and the NBA are kind of in the spotlight. Because football's over and baseball hasn't really started yet, right?
The Olympics does more for growing hockey fans than any sort of highlighted NHL games.
But you don't think it's only for 2 weeks? All the
Look,
hockey fans that are actually hockey fans are going to watch anyway. Everybody else is going to watch for 2 weeks.
No, what I think you do is you get some new hockey fans.
You think so?
I have to agree with both of you. Here's my point, and I'm not taking the wimp's way out of this. I agree that it's a little egregious to take 2 weeks off of the season.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I do agree with that. However, what it does do is it pushes the season a little further out that year, right? Pushes the season a little further out, so it's not necessarily the not that it ever really completely does, because they're always a little separated anyway, but it doesn't compete with the NBA as far as when it comes to the championship when we get to June. But to Harry's point, it does pick up a lot of other fans, because look, here's the thing. Everybody that's a hockey fan is going to have players from their team in the Olympics. And
there's
I'm saying every hockey fan is going to watch it.
It's only once every 4 years. This doesn't happen every year. It's once every 4 years, right? And they're all going to watch. So they're going to get their fill of hockey. So they're not losing any of that. And hockey, NHL in general, is going to gain more fans, because I guarantee you there's more people watching hockey right now because of what the U.S. did than there were this time last year,
or Canada, or anybody else, Yeah, exactly. It's like watching all-star teams play, actually play and give a shit about it. There's 150 players from the NHL in it.
It's an all-star team. It's several.
Hey, look, everyone from Canada is already watching.
No,
I don't believe for a second that there are a significant greater number of Canadians that suddenly start watching hockey because of the Olympics.
You're missing what I'm saying.
That does not
happen. I will
happen.
say this. There's more people watching the Canadian national team play than some fucking clown playing for Carolina Hurricanes, which you can't even find because it's on HBO Max digital, who knows what the fuck it's on. Yes, there's more people watching some of the best players in the history of the game play together representing their country than there's no such thing as the big four. There's the big three. The NHL is a distant fourth, and it might not even be fourth anymore. So anything you can do to get people to actually watch this sport. And let me tell you something, the Olympic Games were way more entertaining than any regular season NHL.
The Olympic Games were playoff hockey. As far as I'm concerned, the Olympic Games were playoff hockey.
Really? A bunch of blowouts and then an exciting game in the final.
But they were.
That's what it was for Team USA.
I know. I get it. I get what you're saying, but just
for the women.
I'm not from the viewership. Well, the women definitely, but just the viewership. I'm not talking about the results. I'm talking about the anticipation and the games themselves. It was at that level. Granted, there were plenty of blowouts. I get it.
But the bronze medal game was good. A lot of the games that were non-U.S. Canada almost lost a couple times in the whatever they call it, the preliminary. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think it's way better hockey. Yeah, I just do. I'm a judge. I watch way more Olympic hockey. I have not watched a single NHL game since then. Oh no, I lied. I watched the Islanders and the Panthers because it was on national television the other day. And
I watched a per capita, if you will. I know it's not we're not talking about people here, but I watched more Olympic hockey than the same sample size of NHL hockey, because you know what, I watch NHL games, I watch Rangers, I watch other teams too, but I didn't watch them as frequently as I watched Olympic hockey.
Yeah. But it's only on for a couple of weeks every 4 years. So it's not a fair comparison.
I'm not going to go and try to find a television at 11 a.m. to watch the Canucks play, whoever but I will to watch the semifinals or the gold medal game for the Olympic hockey.
Here's the rundown for Team USA. All right, preliminary games against
But we know all
Latvia,
that.
5-1. All right, Denmark 6-3, Germany 5-1, Sweden 2-1 in overtime, Slovakia 6-2, Canada 2-1.
But my point being,
Out
Pete,
of
is
those
that,
games, there were 2 exciting
okay,
overtime
yes,
games.
but
So
Canada, who was favored, okay, almost lost and had to go to overtime. Okay, they were in a bunch of close games. We knew the U.S. and Canada, which represented the vast majority of the NHL players, were going to be the favorites. But if you're a fan from Sweden or Finland, you got to see some of the best players from your country play together, which you don't normally get to see. And they also
they
did
get to
pretty
see them
well.
play on the same team, but they get to watch them
Right.
during the regular season the way we do. They can watch any
They
team
don't.
they want.
They don't know, but
Yes,
they can't
do.
watch them together.
Too much together.
You know, they can't
Well,
watch
but
them
that's
together.
true of
in a
every
One
significant
guy
game.
playing this team and 2 guys playing that team, and
I totally disagree with the premise that. Well, I'll say this, John. I agree with what you said. There are more people watching hockey right now because of the Olympics that weren't watching it before. A month from now,
that's my point.
I don't think that's going to be the case. Next year, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Probably not, but
I think it's rah USA. Let's watch, and then once the Olympics are over, it just goes back. And now you have these injuries, and these teams are hampered because of that, especially losing a guy like Crosby.
Well, I think, you know what, though, seriously, I think, yeah.
You ask any of these guys what's more important,
I think
a gold medal or a Stanley Cup, 90% of them are going to say a gold medal.
Well, of course they are. All right,
There's
so
your
we
answer.
settled. As usual, we settled nothing. But
How much hockey do you watch on a regular basis?
I only watch during the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not an exciting sport on TV. It's great in person.
Oh, you get to go to a hockey game. I go every day if I could.
Yeah, I've been to 2 or 3 hockey games, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I watched a decent portion of the Olympics. But once it was, I think I watched against like Germany, and it was 3-1, and I'm like, okay, we know what's going on here. But it hasn't made a hockey fan out of me. Any more of a hockey fan out of me.
Here's the other thing to keep in mind. Okay, real quick, John, and then I'll let you go. Is that I think there was more viewership for the women's team, who
might have been
really dominated up until
the
last game. And there's greater storylines, and I think there was a lot of to a lot of women's sports fans, both male and female and otherwise. I think that was a bigger story in a lot of ways. Now because they've been successful in the short period of time that women's hockey has been in the Olympics. Look, the U.S. men's team, we all know this. That was the first time they won since 1980. It has been Canada or a couple other team sports. So it was a big thing. But I think the bigger thing is that you have followers who only get to watch this U.S. women's team every 4 years. And I think it means a lot to people. I really do. And I think that
I agree with that, but I don't think they're going to be watching a lot more women's hockey because of it.
Well, when can you actually watch women's hockey? If they had international games like this and Team USA played more, I think you would watch it.
It's probably on a channel somewhere, but
yes,
it's certainly. I mean, isn't there a pro league in this country?
Yeah.
Isn't there a pro?
It's the same thing with the WNBA. If you can get people who watch Olympic basketball to watch the WNBA, it's the same thing as because of the concentration of talent and yes, the international effect of it.
Right. Which we got on that note too. Quick aside, and I'll tell you what I was going to tell you. You mentioned that before. I've been to in the last 20 years. I've been to more Devils games than I've been to Rangers games.
Well, Devils games you used to get 5 free tickets.
Well, the tickets
with
are
your cafe,
cheap
with your
and free.
It wasn't even because of that either. It was because of my son.
You just walk up to the booth and they hand you tickets. Please come inside, sir.
Here, go to Piscataway and watch Chico Resch play his last.
Like buy 2 subs and you get a couple of Devils tickets.
Yeah.
My sub. My son is my son's a Devils fan, so I took him to more Devils games.
Bless him.
I mean, I'm a Devils fan too. I'm a Devils Islanders. I mean, I love the Martin Brodeur era of the Devils hockey, but
we were down at Cablevision when Chico Rush when the Devils first came to Jersey from Colorado, and Chico Rush did a meet and greet at Meadowlands Cablevision.
Yeah,
so that was fun.
I would say back then the WWF was more popular than hockey.
I would have to agree with you.
Hockey's become, at least for I haven't been to a hockey game. I don't think I have in New York or New Jersey in a long time. But I go to quite a few here in Colorado, and it's very different than what you used to sit at a range of. I mean, the Islanders games back in the day, which I went to as a very young kid, was like going to watch roller derby. It was just a bunch of, literally blue collar goons sitting in a. I think there were holes in the side of Nassau Coliseum.
The Hanson brothers.
You could see what the weather was. I think Bobby Nystrom drove the Zamboni in between periods. It has become an expensive night out.
It has, yeah.
And it's become a little bit of I hate to say it, it's a little bit of a country club kind of vibe.
It is. And I'll tell you this, not the last Rangers game I was at, because I have gone to one more recently than that, but it's the only one. And I mentioned, obviously, I've been to more Devils games with my son, but the second to last Rangers game that I was at was Eric Lindros was on the Rangers. That's how long ago the second to last Rangers game.
Let me ask you guys one thing real quick. We don't have to spend much time on it. The overtime rules, where they go directly to the 3-on-3.
Go to 4-on-4, man. 3-on-3 is. I mean, it's designed to end the game. I get it.
It's exciting, but it's never going to last more than 2.5, 3 minutes.
Right. That's the point. 4-on-4. It's pragmatic. Right. I think more than legitimate.
I like it better than penalty shots. I
agree.
It's the NHL's version of put the ghost
runner on second base. Yeah. Actually, only it's almost like let's put the puck 3 feet from the net.
Well, let's put a ghost goalie in the net.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let me throw a couple other things at you real quick. So the U.S. team afterwards got the phone call from the president. Kash Patel was in the locker room drinking or whatever. I don't want to get all political, but the president, as he is wont to do, made a tasteless joke about the female team, and the guys all laughed. I get it. You're talking to the president. I think we've all been in situations where someone tells a joke,
and they're all 20,
and they're all kids,
22 years old.
19, you've been in a situation where somebody tells a joke that isn't really funny, but for whatever reason you kind of laugh nervously, or maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe they thought it was genuinely funny. Well, either way, I don't. Poor taste. I'm a little upset that afterwards they didn't stick up for the female team.
Yeah, they should have immediately.
They should have. Yeah, they
issued a response, and yeah.
But the other thing I want to say is, and again, they're kids, allowing themselves, I can't believe that someone, I don't know if anybody tried to talk them out of it, but allowing themselves to go to the State of the Union and be used as pawns by the guy in the White House, to me, was really, really disappointing. And I know they're all young kids.
Again, but, women have better judgment than men.
They do. And the final thing I want to say is Jack Hughes, who scored the game winner and lost his tooth during the tournament, said it was patriotic to go to the State of the Union address, and or to go to the White House, either one of the two. And I would just suggest, I know he's a kid, but he just showed that he's a kid and doesn't know much. And he should get a dictionary and look up the word patriotic and look up the word patriotism.
Right.
Because he has the definition. He's way off on the definition.
Unfortunately, we live in a time where it becomes an issue. If you show up for a certain, and look, I think some of it's based on principles. I remember Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors, making a point of not going under, certain conditions. I get it.
The Seahawks didn't go.
Yeah. I think it's an extreme time, and I also think that it's. I'll just leave it at this: the way the women handled themselves, the way in which they unanimously chose to not go,
eschew the White House. Yeah,
it just speaks volumes about where they're at. And look, it doesn't surprise me. A bunch of young athletes, men. under a certain age, not giving a shit, and many of them are probably have certainly listened more to a Shane Gillis podcast than they have a Nancy Pelosi, breakdown of a certain legislation. So it doesn't surprise me.
No, it's not surprising.
It's disappointing.
It's disappointing because,
and look, the bigger disappointment, we're talking about these kids, the bigger disappointment is Kash Patel. And just,
it's
just unstately and unprofessional. And it just doesn't, it's horrible. It was a bad look. It soured a really great moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what I was going to say. It put a stain on a lot of that. And it makes me wonder, look, all of these guys, right, on the team, they have almost certainly been superstars since they were how old? 8, 6, you know what I mean? And maybe have gotten a little bit of different treatment, maybe some preferential treatment because of their skill and so it just makes me wonder, if that is the environment, does that breed this kind of lack of empathy, this kind of
I don't think they were really,
or is it just youth?
I don't think that they were solely or as a whole expressing a lack of empathy. I would have liked, and some of them did speak out, and some of them chose not to go. A few,
yes. I'm only about the State of the Union. There was only 6 or 8 of them, I think, that went.
If I put myself, okay, if I was their age, and by some miracle I was on some gold medal winning team, it probably would have been hot dog eating at that time.
It absolutely would have been. No. It would not have been hot dog eating. It would have been McDonald's.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. We don't need to go there. My point being, and Ronald Reagan was president, who I despised.
It would have been tough.
It's a good thing you didn't want to go down a political wormhole,
right? But my point being is that I'm not sure I would have not said yes to going to the State of the Union.
I agree. It would have been tough.
I don't blame the kids. The bigger point here is that we have the president of the United States making horrific jokes at the expense of a much more successful program,
dominant,
and his idiot, Kash Patel chugging beers with them after the game. That's the disappointment.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I probably wouldn't have said no, or certainly, but I guess my point is, and there were some of them who did not go, and that is a promising sign. But, compared to when we were 20 years old or 22 years old, and today, and the awareness I think that young people in general have, it's I don't know if it's even maybe a little more distressing. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now.
Where it is an issue, and your choices are you have to choose A or B in order to please A or B.
You see, that's
exactly. The polarization forces you into a choice. Yeah,
that is the thing that upsets me the most, is the polarization. I come from a time where, as if I'm speaking to two people that don't, right? We all come from a time where, the polarization wasn't happening anywhere near as much as it's happening now. And then to Harry's point, I don't believe that I would have been able to say no to that.
I don't disagree with either one of you.
So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, and the actions of our leadership or lack of leadership is,
to
me, is way more dismal and more concerning than the polarization politically, because I actually think that when it comes down to things, while there is extreme polarization, I think that the polarization within the leadership of our government is way grosser and way more real than it is in the real world. We learn how to get along and coexist, make decisions, and move forward every day with people that we probably don't agree with politically, whereas the people that we pay through our tax dollars don't.
Yeah, it's a good point. And Vanessa says, I'm assuming she's talking about, she says, we call it the Republic of Taiwan, which I assume is the one that I was stumbling over the name. So,
yeah.
given that fact, I would say it's Shusha, probably. Shusha.
Yeah, she said she had dual citizenship.
Dual citizenship does exist.
Yeah, and two sons already in the 90s.
Most of these baseball players, many of them have dual citizenship. So that's why. And you saw it in the Olympics too, with many of the athletes. So that's great.
All right, so
there we go. What else do we have to talk about? Nothing, I guess.
Good thing you didn't want to go down the political.
Well, I didn't want to, start bashing the right and be very generalized about it. But I just, it obviously bothered me that, those guys didn't. Again, even at the time, going along with the joke, they didn't make a bigger stand afterwards. And
well, they were on a lot of. I mean, they were on a lot of talk shows.
I thought Saturday Night Live did a good skit with both.
Saturday Night Live, and they had the men and the women together, and they were all together, and arms around each other, and blah 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 blah. And look, it is what it is. If they can do what they're doing together, whatever. I mean.
Well, we're good to not talk about hockey for another 4 years, so that's great.
There you go, right?
Well, we can wait till the now 2 weeks later than usual playoffs to start talking about hockey. So we've got an extra half a month to prepare.
Fair enough. I'm
going to memorize 4 names, I promise, for the playoff.
Rakitin's a great name.
We got just enough time to get in hot takes.
Let's do a hot take. Why not?
Hot takes.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Still have to adjust that one.
It came up a little bit. That was good. I like it. That worked. All right. These are since our next show is going to be after St. Patrick's Day. I'll talk to you in a minute. I just got a text. It was funny. Since the next show is going to be after St. Patrick's Day, these are St. Patrick's Day hot takes. St. Patrick's Day hot takes. Here we go. First one: Guinness, straight Guinness, or a black and tan?
Guinness.
All right.
Guinness.
And I will enjoy the augmented flatulence that comes along with that.
There you go. I enjoy Guinness, but I actually do have. I've had black and tans occasionally, but
just pick a side.
Blacksmith.
The right answer is a dirty gin martini, extra olives.
There you go. Blacksmiths.
That's the green.
Blacksmiths are my. Blacksmiths are my way to go.
Those are also a great pair of boots by Red Wing.
Well, it's a black and tan with Smittix, not with.
I know exactly what it is.
Anyway, all right. Next one: Irish coffee with Irish whiskey, or Irish coffee with Baileys.
Coffee black. The Irish don't know how to do anything when they
of those two.
Go Baileys.
Baileys.
With your last name, you need to have an opinion on this.
Baileys.
Baileys. All right, Baileys. I agree. For the Irish coffee, it needs to be Baileys. I like Irish whiskey. In the coffee, it needs to be Baileys. Number 3, corned beef and cabbage on a platter, or a corned beef sandwich.
Yikes! Both are disgusting, but
I know you have to. I know you have to like reach back in time to pull this one out for you.
I'll do a sandwich.
I'll do sandwich. But
no
put
cabbage.
coleslaw. Put coleslaw on it. It's really
no cabbage. That cabbage in a different form.
Oh no cabbage on the sandwich.
Yeah,
no cabbage on the sandwich. Corned beef and cabbage platter.
Corned
beef sandwich.
Oh no, the platter.
Platter you want?
Yeah. Nice, super soft carrots too, just north of mush.
And potatoes, cabbage.
That's your handle, isn't it?
Just north of mush.
Go to RadioPete's OnlyFans. Super soft carrot, and his alternate page, just soft of mush.
That's our Thursday late night special. It's just soft of mush.
We've got
on the OnlyFans there.
All right, what else?
Just soft of mush. Yeah. All right. I gotta love it. There we go. Okay, next one. If you're having it on a sandwich, do you want hot mustard on it or Russian dressing, i.e. a Reuben?
I'll go Reuben.
Hot mustard.
Fair enough.
And coleslaw. Really good with coleslaw. I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
I love Reuben's, but on St. Patrick's Day, I gotta put the Coleman's. I gotta kill my sinuses with that Coleman's mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you take a little bit and mix some horseradish.
Derek Coleman's
with the
mustard. It's really good.
Yeah.
We're back to Gary Coleman. There you go.
Coleman
Derek
never
Coleman.
Gary
Derek-
Coleman or
Derek
Coleman or
Okay.
Derek Coleman?
Coleman's mustard too. Yeah.
Actually, isn't that the two of them formed the Coleman's mustard?
They
company?
did. Coleman
Yeah.
and Coleman.
Yeah.
Coleman and Coleman.
Coleman and Coleman spicy mustard.
And Coleman from Coleman from Trading Places too. It's Coleman and Coleman and Coleman.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
He's the accountant.
Had to push it to the even more obscure.
I had to do it.
All
I
right.
had to do it. Next one: Irish beef stew or shepherd's pie.
Denholm Elliott.
My stomach's rumbling. Shepherd's pie.
What was the first one?
Irish beef stew or shepherd's pie.
Oh boy. I'll go stew.
Barry.
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I gotta side with shepherd's pies. I love Irish beef stew, but give me a good shepherd's pie with the nice potatoes on the top. That's really
Soup is my favorite food, so I'll go with the stew because it's closer.
It is closer. It is.
I like shepherd's pie though.
It's good. They're all good. I mean, nothing here is bad, right? But
I disagree. But keep going. Keep going before I shit myself.
Anyway, and the last one: Irish soda bread or no Irish soda bread.
Just no bread at all?
Well, whatever. Any other bread you want, but Irish soda bread or any other bread.
Any other bread.
I
mean,
yeah. Well,
it would not.
No Irish soda bread kind of entails. My point is, do you want Irish soda bread or nah? I don't want any Irish.
Out of anything that you mentioned on this entire hot takes, that's probably the only thing I would eat.
You would eat, I know.
Yeah,
with some spicy mustard and coleslaw.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say Irish soda bread.
Yeah, you gotta have a little Irish soda
If
bread.
it's the actual Irish soda bread, not one that has 8 million different things in it.
Mm-hmm. No, not that. No, Irish
real soda bread is very plain
with bits of real Irish,
with the Kerrygold butter on it. Nice Irish butter,
sweet
cream butter. That's really good.
I'll take that. I'll take that over a nice sourdough any day.
I agree.
Not a big fan. Not a big fan of the sourdough.
No, I'm not. Sourdough has its purpose, but
how about sour soda?
Sour beer, yeah. Sour drinks, yeah. Not sour soda.
Sour grapes.
Sour soda bread is what I'm saying.
Oh, sour soda bread. Maybe. I'd have to try it first.
All right. Speaking of sour, I think that's where we're heading.
I think we are. I'm good.
All right. I think we covered everything, and only 3 minutes.
Covered it with coleslaw and spicy mustard.
Yeah.
Wrapped it up on some soda bread, and
I will take it.
Absolutely. All right. So back on the 18th.
We are back on the 18th, and we do have to make a decision, but we'll talk about that off the air. But tentatively, we are back on the 18th. So
all right.
Go to our social media, TikTok and Instagram, and of course on the YouTube channels and the Facebook as well. We'll be posting clips.
Or just fax us your thoughts.
Make sure you follow all of that.
Don't reach out to us because no one's monitoring anything. But
and follow us on
watch for clips.
No, reach out. Pete's monitoring.
Reach out, Pete's monitoring, right? And check out RadioPete on Facebook as well, and check out Jersey Johnny on Facebook as well as this page.
Yeah, there you go. So plenty of places to see us, and
there you go.
You can watch a condensed version of the show in like 90 seconds. And
there you go. Just go put it on speed. It's 8 speed.
It's way better that way.
Yeah, there we go. Well, no, you watch a clip. It's a minute and a half.
The Evelyn Wood version.
Probably the clip by itself is better than the whole show.
Any throwback to like
Evelyn Wood version.
40 years ago.
That was real, man. Don't make fun of that. That was real.
I know it was. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Join us next week when we talk about our top 10 favorite Joe Franklin episodes.
I think I only have 9.
Hey, we had a guest on the show that was on Joe Franklin.
Of course we did. Of course we did.
I know everyone loves the Uncle Floyd episode, but I hated it. So
yeah, he just passed.
All right.
See ya. Thanks, Uncle
Bye,
Floyd.
Everybody.
Oogie oogie oogie.
Thank you all for watching. For those of you listening to the audio podcast, a passel of thanks for listening. You're all really swell. Like and follow us on all our social media. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. All of our shows are available on YouTube at the Lager Room channel. Just click the live tab to reach the show archive. The video podcast is live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook every other Wednesday, starting sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find the audio podcasts on our host, Spreaker, as well as your favorite audio platform. If you haven't already, quit your dilly-dallying and subscribe so you will never miss a show. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great rest of your week and watch lots of sports. For the boys, this is Harry Hansen saying see you in a fortnight.